we as NFL fans are bitches. We really are. Charlie LeDuff in the house. What's up, Charlie?
Oh, what up, Charlie?
Drew Lane, Charlie LeDuff, outstanding.
Good,
you know where Charlie's from, by the way?
Oh, Drew.
Charlie's from L-Town. I needed to point that out for everybody.
Everybody, Drewski's in the building.
Drew Lane, the legend. What's up, Drew?
The legend right here.
It's radio legend only, please. Always in front of my name.
Yeah.
Radio Hall of Fame.
Yeah, amen to that.
No,
Jeez,
since we're here, let's get Drew. How do you feel about the number change? Do you think that's going to change the game?
No, I don't, but I think it's kind of weird to see number 9 blocking for the court. You know, some big giant guy, number 9, holding. Isn't that kind of weird?
What? Number 9? No.
I don't care. I mean.
No, it's really so. Running backs can choose numbers 1 through 49. Linebackers can choose 1 through, 59?
Yeah.
And then the wide receivers can choose numbers from 1 to 49 and then 80 to 89.
Okay, so the center won't be number 19.
No, not the center.
Okay, I'm okay.
So, all right, so center. Nah, I like Drew.
Poor Drew just wants to come down here and do some work, and we suck him on the air. Come on.
Yeah.
Give me a break.
The ref?
Yeah.
What you mean? So the numbers for O linemen and D linemen are still the same. The
50s and 60s.
Right.
But the wide receivers come
And 70s.
Sorry, Adam.
No, not the wide receivers. Only the linebackers, D line, and O line. That's it.
Okay.
Right. And then you have the running backs who can wear numbers 1 through 49, and then you have wide receivers who can wear numbers 1 through 49, and then also 80 through 89. And then I think DBs can wear 1 through 49 as well. And so that's what it is. But D line, offensive lineman. No, O-line D-line.
He said DB.
You talking about douchebags?
Joik, would it change your position on being number 35 if you were
Yes,
playing?
I would have had 5.
5?
Yeah, 5. So the reason I went with 35, I got to a team and they had 2 numbers. They had 35 and 38. I like, well, if you take 33 and you get 5, you can get, it'll be 38. I'm like, but I'd rather just take the 3 and the 5, put them together and get 35, because 38 was just a hideous number. It was hideous to me.
35 is Verlander. Verlander, I guess, was it Frank Thomas?
Yep.
That was his guy.
Yeah. Big Hurt.
Yep. Big Hurt.
And Joik.
Yeah.
5.
And
Why 5?
I had, what is funny? I wanted 5 because that was my number in college. And the reason I switched over from 33 to 5 in college.
Wait, I thought you couldn't be number 5 until now. You can in college, but not in the NFL.
Right.
Okay.
Right. And so I was 5 in college, and I was 33 my true freshman year and my redshirt freshman year. And then I switched over to 5 once the senior left. And I switched over to 5 because of Larry Johnson, who was one of my favorite running backs in college, and also Reggie Bush. I was all the playmakers.
Bush.
I was like, all the playmakers ran 5, so I need to go ahead and grab 5.
Who's the most famous number 5 of all time?
In college,
In any sport.
I'm thinking
Reggie.
now.
Reggie. It's college. Reggie is.
He was sick in
college.
USC.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, he
was amazing.
I gotta
he
give
was
it to
sick.
Reggie was by far
Boy,
my
5? That's a great question.
What I see, it was my favorite all-time college running back.
Yeah, Nick. Nick.
He looked so much faster than everyone else.
Electrifying.
You guys were a great backfield.
Oh, yes.
You, Reggie, had a great. That 1 year was really good.
Yeah, so we done something that has never been done before, which Coach Mockins referred to when we had him on the show last week, that me and Reggie both had 500 receiving, 500 rushing yards in the same season. I think Reggie might have rushed for over 1,000, and they had about 515 receiving. And then I think I had about 580 receiving, and then like another 600 something rushing. So
I like it when a guy actually knows his own stats, because usually, like I talked to Kirk Gibson, he's like, I don't know how many home runs they had. I have no idea,
No.
and I really don't think he does.
No.
But a lot of these guys, I don't believe them. But Joik, I appreciate that.
no.
Drew, you brought up a great point because
I know it.
Oh, Joe, yeah.
Joe
yeah,
D,
yeah.
thank you.
You know what? I've said this to Joik, and Joik got pissed at me when I said this. Like Reggie was never going to be what he was in college in the NFL. He was faster than everybody else in college, okay? He was never going to replicate that. So I meant it as a compliment. He was like, no, my boy was still pretty good. Yes, he was still pretty good, but he needed a guy like you. He was never going to be a 3-down back in the National Football League.
A guy like me?
A guy, you probably would have been a good lead blocker too. But no, all jokes aside, like, he could outrun people in college. You're not going to do that in the National Football League. It's just not going to work that way. So Reggie, to me, became more of a quote-unquote complete back when he had that compliment back in you, Joik. And you guys, for that year, that was something special because you got to take the load off a guy that just wasn't going to be able to do the things that he did in college.
Joik, have you ever seen a faster guy than Reggie Bush? Is he the fastest player you've ever played
in person?
with? Yeah.
I've seen some fast guys. Deshaun Watson, Javid Best, CJ Spiller.
Javid Best was that fast?
Yeah.
Remember that Monday night game, Drew?
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh, the guy was shot out of a fucking cannon.
If you put Reggie Bush, Deshaun Jackson, Javid Best, and CJ Spiller, and a 60-yard dash, I don't know who wins. I don't know who wins. Now I heard a rumor that Javid and Deshaun raced at a Cal Pro Day of some other players, and they were just on they raced and they tied, but they both were just kind of like not. They said they wasn't really running for real, or Deshaun wasn't running for real, or Javid wasn't. But I mean, you got a guy in Javid who raced against Usain Bolt in the Olympics.
Oh yeah.
And so
I guess Reggie Bush is just a bigger name, and he just looked so on TV. Oh my God! When you said in person, it's kind of funny.
Yeah.
But so is the number thing? Is that a big deal? Or are people saying, "Oh my God, I can't understand what's going on if a running back is number 3"?
Well, Tom Brady Tom Brady has a problem with it.
Well, he's an older fella.
Yeah, he's an older fella, and he's used to the old ways, because he's been doing something the same way for 20 years. And so now when they throw in this little niche, it kind of, you're a professional, just work around it. He'll work around. He doesn't want to look at a linebacker and say, Mike, because it's a linebacker. So, you got old linemen who they're used to blocking a 50 number, And so, but that's not that big of a deal. That's not that big of a deal.
Is anyone else complaining about it, or
no?
I haven't heard anyone.
You know what the thing, Drew? I've said this forever. We aren't good. Football fans aren't good with change. You and I grew up in an era when they added the wild card. People, what? No, they're going to let everybody in the playoff. The Thanksgiving Day game, okay? And I'm guilty of this. I called myself out when they decided to add the third Thanksgiving.
No.
Right, this is the way it's always been. Detroit and Dallas. And you know what? Years later, NFL, you were right. There is nothing like turning on that game at night.
Yeah.
I'm high on tryptophan. I might be asleep by the second quarter, but it's great to sit at home and watch a game on a Thursday
So who
night.
has that third game
We aren't good
now?
with change, Drew.
No, with that third game, is it going to be different teams every year?
Yeah, it's different teams every year.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
different teams every year.
That's good to have.
so? What's on the itinerary? I need to know the show log. What's
We're
syllabus?
We're gonna bitch at Tom Brady because he's won,
Yeah.
which we kind of just did. We got UFC coming up. Our buddy Art, who does the Art of Combat here on Woodward Sports, is going to give us a breakdown of what's going on
Staff's
there.
on top of stuff.
Dodgers will have a fully vaccinated fan section.
Smart.
And with a
Genius
tip
is
of the
stupid.
cap to Charlie LeDuff, Whitmer will probably travel there to see a game and then tell people she didn't travel there to see a game.
Whoa.
And
Whoa.
this will be...
Whoa, Sean. Settle down there, buddy. Settle down there,
It's
buddy.
not like it's happened before or anything.
Settle down
So,
there.
yeah, that's where we're at right
Her
now.
father's
So-
chronically ill, though. I think we
Yes,
can all understand
and you know
that.
what? Here's the thing.
So are a lot of people's fathers. but-
Drew, exactly. I understand it. I'm with you. I get it. I empathize with you. But don't tell Drew Lane that he can't do that. Don't tell Sean Baligian he can't do that. Don't tell Charlie LeDuff he can't do that.
Well, what if she?
Period.
What if
about
she's?
Joik?
Joik, don't tell Joik that either.
Okay.
Don't.
Have
But I
you
know
visited any
Granny Lammy-
chronically ill family members lately out of state? Your family's
No.
all here, aren't they?
Yeah, my whole family's here for the most part. For the most part. But I have family, we're scattered as well. But intermediate family, we're here.
I think she should have said, "You know what? I'm sorry. That was something I shouldn't have done, but I love my father so much." If she apologized, but instead she's taken the offensive. But that's the way it's done, I guess.
Yeah.
She wasn't vaccinated. You're
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
By
Yeah.
the way, Charlie, why don't you get up here and get on mic? Take my place.
Come on, Charlie.
Did her kids go on that trip, Charlie? Why can't we know this?
I'll tell you what, I don't know
It's
if
a
her kids,
takeover.
because
I don't
it's
know if her
private.
kids went on the trip.
It's not our business.
She hadn't even
Because it's not our
said.
business.
She hadn't even said if she went to Florida. She hadn't said it specifically. When, whose airplane. It matters when you're the leader.
But what happened if she took a private plane there?
Yeah, and when did you get the pilot sick? I don't know. You know, aren't we all chronically ill, technically speaking?
I love him.
I mean, you're the leader.
Go,
Look,
Charlie.
my brother died recently, and I couldn't hold his hand when he took his last breath because we're all in this ship together.
Right.
That's what we're doing. I'm paying attention. I'm not a radical non-masker guy, right? You get to see your dad, and I don't get to see my brother. Well, okay, that whole we're all rowing together, that ship sailed. I just took a flight to D.C., stop over in Charlotte. It's like being Rip Van Winkle. I mean, the whole country's moving. That airport was packed. And we're up here doing what? When the governor's doing that.
Yep.
That's the point.
That's the point.
Yeah. I go see your dad.
And, you know, and I respect that opinion. I respect that. And I think if we're going to, you know, we have to just hold each other accountable. Whatever you put out there, make sure you're doing it. Lead by example. And, that's one thing that, and what you're saying, that one thing I can't stand is a hypocrite.
Right.
How about a hypocrite that shames others for doing the same things that she does?
Saying,
just throwing it out there.
This is trying to. I'm not saying she's a hypocrite. I'm not going to talk down on our leader, but you can't do that.
Well, see, I'll say hypocrite.
Yeah.
100%.
Let's talk sports. Let's do this in a sports way.
All right.
Okay. Remember, the director of health, the two big COVID czars underneath her, beat it down to Margaritaville. They took a spring break in the middle of the biggest game of our lives. Did you ever go on spring break in the middle of football season when you're the captain of that team?
No, because
Never.
because spring break is in spring. We playing fall.
Well, but I mean, spring practice, right? You got to do what you got to do.
All right.
Great stuff.
Will I miss
Charlie's
spring
been
ball?
all over this. If you guys haven't seen it, Charlie's been all over this, and Charlie doing Charlie things. Charlie, one of the best things I remember when I was at Fox 2, when you did that. This is probably 13 years ago. When you did the golfing all across Detroit.
No, that's about 5-6 years ago.
Was it really?
I wasn't even living here 13 years ago.
That was one of the coolest things I've ever seen. I'll never forget, because like I was doing the sports thing and they showed that and I was going, that is awesome. I mean, for people that didn't know, Charlie literally kept taking strokes all throughout the city of Detroit.
18 miles.
How long was
Course
it?
record.
Gosh, was that awesome. Great stuff.
That's a
What
course
else is
record.
going on with you, man?
Well, I'm working on a network with Drew. I got the No Bullshit News Hour. I'm a columnist with Deadline Detroit. All that Whitmer stuff, I'm breaking it. And then they're not answering me, and then they're giving it to friendly media, so it gets pushed down a little bit. But that's okay, because anything big going on in the news, you can bet it's coming through the No Bullshit News Hour. I'm working on a documentary with Disney. You know, you can buy my books, or just, then they got a new book coming out in Poland next month.
What's the name of it?
Work and Other Sins.
Okay. Awesome. What is it about?
Regular people. Regular people. Like today, we're gonna, on my broadcast, we're gonna talk about. It's the 7-year anniversary of Flint. Ain't nobody talking about Flint. Mm-hmm. We're gonna talk about police. Do you know there was 3 mass shootings in Detroit last week? An octuple, a quintuple, and a quadruple. That the police dropped 2 guys dead. Mm-hmm. Did you notice?
No.
Why would we know this? If all this is going on in the world, and we don't know about what's going on with the media, we need to know. Do you know that shootings have gone up 100% over the last 2 years in Detroit? 50% the year before COVID, and then from this time last year to now, another 50%. Do you know that about 50% of the Detroit police force has less than 5 years experience? Do you know rookies are going into basements together, taking the guy that's whacked out on meth out, but shooting each other? This is real things. This is what I'm trying to do. And if they're, that's a reason to leave general media, because they don't want to do it.
No, you're
but
absolutely right.
we need it done.
No doubt about that. No doubt about that.
So what's your broadcast so the people can know?
It's the No BS News Hour. You can find it like where all the podcasts are.
Okay.
The Facebook Live, check me out. It's 100,000 strong.
Ooh.
Ooh. 100,000. 100,000.
It's amazing, Charlie, how quickly, and whether people in the media want to admit it or not, is inconsequential. It's amazing how quickly we've marched when somebody told people to march. It's depressing to me.
Yeah.
It is. No, you can't ask that question. You have to let us know what you're going to ask ahead of time. What?
If we
I
had-
mean, these are things that are happening that the average person doesn't understand. This shit is happening now.
No.
And the media should ask, because remember, let's just take like Iraq, right? We went to Iraq.
Mm-hmm.
The media didn't really question it. They were afraid to. So we went. I went there. We didn't have a plan. We didn't have armor. We just sent dudes in. They came back, and they're walking around on popsicle sticks, and they can't get an appointment at the VA. This is what we do. I'm asking the leaders to think. Because it's my people that go. Huh?
No.
It's all a team.
He's the best. Seriously, I say that with full respect. And did I mention he's also a Livonia guy? Joy,
L-Town.
I had to
Throw
get
the
that. I
L's
had to
up.
get that L up for him.
I was
as
through
well.
Garden City yesterday. Inkster. Garden City. Dude, I went in the house. Oh, watch this. Here's my imitation of Chris Cuomo. Well, I'm coming out. Oh, I've been in that basement. I've been locked away for 2 weeks. Except I was in the Hamptons last week riding my bicycle. Bullshit. You and your brother are bullshit. Fake news. Good to see you.
Great to see you, brother. Nice to see you, man. Charlie LeDuff, ladies and gentlemen.
What's up with that hair, bro?
Just
All these
awesome.
guys.
Nice to see you, buddy.
All right, Drew,
Absolutely.
man.
Drew
Hey,
Lane,
Drew.
Charlie LeDuff. What a pleasant surprise this
job,
morning.
Drew.
Great to have. I'm not trying to embarrass them. Two legends. I think a lot of people
Best in the-
in
hey,
our
Drew.
business and
Drew,
outside
before
of
you
our
leave,
business.
do you know you are
love these guys.
Artemis. Like, he wants to be you. He wants to be
It's a
you.
low bar.
No. Art's a low bar.
I'm aware of our
No, yeah, Art's a low bar. But Art, put on your face real quick, because whenever you come in, he lights up like a Christmas tree. Yeah, he lights up.
All
Like
right,
a
Drew, I'm
Christmas
going to embarrass you, and I know I've talked to you about this before.
I'm trying to say
Get
goodbye.
him.
No,
I know.
dude, do you get it? Like there are people like me and Art that grew up like my morning was you. Like that was my morning every morning. Like I'm sorry to go fanboy on you, but do you get that? Do you get like the impact you made?
Well, I'll leave myself out of it. The relationship between a radio host and the audience can be very, very intense. You spend 4 hours a day with the guy,
Yeah.
or the girl, or whoever it might be. So anyway, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Drew Lane, ladies
Drew.
and gentlemen.
Drew.
He's got business
Drew's
to
the
take care
man.
of. Sorry to hold you up, Drew.
All right, Drew. Love having Drew on.
Great
Hey,
stuff.
you're welcome to come on here whenever
great.
you want to, Drew.
Great. Yeah.
Hey.
Open. We're going to save a chair, Mr. Lane's chair. Only Mr. Lane is allowed to sit in that chair, okay?
Okay.
That's what we're going to do.
right.
How great is LeDuff?
I love him.
How
That was my first time meeting him in person.
Oh, you never met him? Oh
No,
my
my
gosh.
first time.
I said we should have a
I'm
good.
tapping into his podcast. No,
I said we should have a Good Friday show. That overexceeded.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
All
LeDuff
right, hey,
and
listen,
Drew.
we'll see you next
Yeah,
week.
that's-
We're not going to top anything. Those
No.
two, we're not going to top that
No,
the
no,
rest of
no,
the
top
show.
it.
I mean,
But
you guys
before
are
we
okay.
go, hold up, Art, raise your hand. But before we go, let me tell you about Northwestern Tech.